Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Social Media Decoded podcast, the number one podcast to help you understand social media better so that you grow your business, get more clients, and monetize. And I'm excited because, I always get excited when we have special guests. And so today we are talking to Tara, and we're going to dive deep all about some business things, but it may not be some business things that you might have thought of, right? We're going to talk about how you can grow your online business, but maybe you don't have the marketing skills, right? We're going to get all into a lot of things on today's podcast. So, Tara, thank you so much for joining today's episode. I'm so excited to chat with you.
Thank you for having me, Michelle. I'm also super excited to be here with all of you.
Yes. And so you have a really unique background. So you have 15 years in corporate management, top sales performance, world traveling, yoga extraordinaire. Can you tell us a little bit about like how you started your business? I want this episode to really speak to people. Maybe you may have started in a 9 to 5 and been in a corporate and then you want to do something different. Let's get into your story. So how did you start out in your business?
I had a defining moment that led me to my business. And that defining moment was when I was at the top of my game in corporate America, making multiple six figures, actually in the upper 2% of the United States. I thought I had achieved the success that I was expected of me and that I was looking for, but I wasn't feeling successful on the inside. And what happened, sadly, is that I lost a friend in a motorcycle accident. And he had been a close friend since 5 years old. And when my friend suddenly died, I not only mourned the loss of my friend, but I recognized my own mortality. We all have an end coming. And if it's true that we could get hit by a bus tomorrow, because my friend did, he got hit by an SUV riding a motorcycle in the middle of the afternoon, then what we do today really matters. And I just made a promise to myself in that moment that my life would never be the same. So I left my company, I left my struggling relationship, and I left my country. And I wasn't sure what was next. But I ended up on this worldwide solo adventure, traveling 9 countries, 3 continents. I ended up following my heart in a yoga teacher training in Bali, not ever wanting to be a yoga teacher, just really curious what the spiritual side was behind yoga. And I really did find a pathway to a new life. And I spent another 10 years studying yogic principles and Eastern philosophy to deep level happiness and fulfillment. And I'll get to the final point. The answer to your question was like, in that, I found my purpose. It's called your dharma in yoga. And your dharma is synonymous with living your truth in alignment with what your soul is calling for, with what you're meant to do. So I took my 15 years experience in corporate, and I took my 10 plus years now it's more than that, in yoga and spiritual study. And I bring that together for my purpose in guiding women, purpose driven entrepreneurs, and spiritual gurus to build businesses where they can be profitable that align with what their heart and soul are calling for them to do, that align with their dharma. So it was on this path of following my heart that I took everything I've done, my skills, my gifts, my experience, to formulate a business that aligns with what I do best and how I can help people.
I love that because it just shows that you can be on a totally different path and be guided to what you're really supposed to do. Because many of you know my story. I definitely worked in corporate America and hated it. And I'm like, why am I keep getting in these situations that I absolutely hate? It doesn't even feel right. It doesn't feel like connected, like what I'm supposed to be doing. But then when I started working in marketing for the beauty brand I worked for, I felt so lit up every day to go to work. I felt like a sense
Yeah.
of purpose, like I was doing something when I started my blog and YouTube. And so I really can resonate with that, like doing something that just lights you up. And it's like, I know that this is my purpose. And so this is why I tell each and every one of the listeners here, you can build a business doing anything. yoga, construction, whatever it is, you can use. And I heard you say you use your skills and expertise, which is what we teach here on this podcast. You can monetize your skills and expertise. So I love your story. I think it's amazing. In a testament, like you said, that is a wake up call to go through something like that and say, you know what, life is too short. And I feel the same way. Live every day to your fullest. So start the business tomorrow. That's what you're saying, Tara. Start the business tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you don't always know how though to start the business tomorrow. So get the right help, whether it's hiring a coach, a marketing specialist like yourself, like you don't have to know the complete destination, but you do have to take a step. And when you take a step, spirit can support you on that path and opportunities will come to you that you can't possibly plan for. So you don't have to have the plan figured out. You have to be willing and open to move forward, even when it's scary, even when it's uncomfortable.
Absolutely. I love that. So you help content creators and business owners in your business. So let's talk about that a little bit. I know there's so many different type of content creators that listen to this podcast. They may be an influencer, coach, creator, consultant, wellness provider, athlete. It's a wide range of people. So what is it that you help your clients with in your business when it comes to their businesses? Because I heard you talk about that alignment piece. And sometimes we may be looking on social media, right? For instance, let's bring this to social media. And we're looking at somebody else's business and we're like, oh, I want to do that, but it may not be aligned with like what you have going on. So how do you help to guide your clients to really figure out their plans?
Well, it's really getting clear what your purpose is and what your priorities are. So, when I became a single mother and I was already in my business with international retreats, I needed to redefine what was important to me and build a business that aligned with my priorities, as well as continuing in my purpose and living my truth. And it was a scary change. It was a scary change for me. I wasn't sure how to do it. But with a coach, I figured it out and I did completely pivot my business. So I really help people with a holistic approach to modern business. Yes, I use the sales strategy and structure. I'm a salesperson. That's what I did. I love sales. I love, I see sales as coming from the heart as a way to help more people, to bring them in to work in your programs. But I have no interest in helping people make a lot of money and have this successful business on the outside if it doesn't like give them a life that they absolutely love. So I knew that not only did I need to be like provide for my daughter as a single mother, but I wanted to be there for her. And I didn't want to be like back in a corporate position where I'm spending all kinds of money on daycare, childcare, and living in a place I don't want to live, doing a job I don't want to do. I want to be that example for my child that you can follow your heart and create success on your terms, creating time freedom, financial freedom, and even geographic freedom if that's what matters to you. And those are things that matter to me.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's so awesome because you're right. If it doesn't, like we said before, if it doesn't fulfill you, it may not be the right business. You may be looking on all these people on Instagram. Oh, she's an influencer. Oh, she's a travel blogger. But if it's not like really what you're here to do, it may not be. So you might think that that's what you're supposed to be doing, but it has to align. So I really love that you said that. So you said that you work with clients to allow their businesses to scale while creating freedom in their personal life. This is what I love to do too. So this is why I have digital products and all these things. I love the digital nomad lifestyle. This is why we have online businesses, well, at least for me, because I just, today before we got on this podcast, I just figured out how I can live maybe in the city of Chicago for the summer in an apartment and then just come back to my house, right? So that's kind of like a digital nomad kind of staycation type thing, but you help create financial freedom. So how do you teach that the two are intertwined with each other? Like, how do they benefit each other? Like building a business, but also creating this freedom life. Because you also said you have a daughter. I know there's many moms listening to this podcast. I'm a mom, and us moms, we want to create that freedom for ourselves. So how do you help your clients really bridge that gap and create that business for themselves?
Well, you just give a really great example, and that's really what I help my clients to do is to first look at your dream life. So I have this methodology that I use that's an acronym DREAM, and it's for to manifest your dream life and business. And the D is first in dream, which is determine the vision. So again, I don't want to help you build a business that takes you away from your dream life. If you want to live half your time downtown Chicago or half your time in a Greek island, then let's create a business that allows you to do that. Let's not go forward and like, this is the regular model of business and the typical strategy if it doesn't align with what you want, because you can get creative and you can look at, there are so many business models out there and strategies and structure and infrastructures you can put in place that really give you that freedom. So I want to first look at the dream vision of where we're going and then reverse engineer the business to support the dream lifestyle. That's the whole point. And then we get clear on, what's standing in the way, what's stopping you, and how you can do this in alignment with your truth, with your purpose. Like you were talking about, like, does it align? Is it what really matters? So you really get to awaken each day with a passion to be excited about what you're doing versus being like exhausted from your work. And you really reach new levels in, I'm going to call it soul evolution, because it's like personal growth as well as it's building a business. It's evolving on a soul level to becoming, just simply put, best version of you. And a business should allow you to do that, to become the best version of you and support your dream life. And it's really that empowerment piece. Like, let your business and your finances empower you to live a life you love, create your dream life.
Oh, I love that. Live a life you love and create your dream life, because that's what we're over here doing, especially on the Social Media Decoded
Yes.
podcast. If you're loving this episode, make sure to tag me over on Instagram at Michelle L. Thames. Let us know. Are you living your dream life? Are you going to reach out to Tara and say, Tara, I have this idea, but I don't know where to go. What is my purpose? Okay, I really love that. And while we're talking about purpose, some of us that listen to this podcast, it is the Social Media Decoded podcast, and we may not like social media, or we may have a love-hate relationship. So when you were building your business, what do you think were the most effective channels or like strategies that you use to help you get your business more visible to reach more people?
100% social media was huge. It's how I got my first client. I'll never forget my first like high paying client. And I really just got clear on what my purpose was and how I could help people. And I started putting it out there and sharing that message on social media. At that time, it was Facebook. I still utilize Facebook very heavily, as well as Instagram, a little bit YouTube. I use most all of the outlets, but I think, in my experience, we just choose the top two or three that are the most powerful and most fit for us. And it, it's a huge part of my business, and I'm grateful for social media. Sometimes people say, oh, I don't like social media. I don't want to be on my computer all the time. I'm like, oh, so you'd rather be in your office? Like, I get to be out on my boat, like doing my social media, or like work. They're like, oh, it's too bad you have to work from your boat. I'm like, no, it's too bad you have to work from your office. Like, it's not bad that I'm working from my boat. It's that I get to like create that life that like, this is awesome for me. And I love what I'm doing because I'm always in the creative mode or connecting with people that are, on my same like vibe, like they're still like looking for purpose, looking to help more people. So whether they're trying to, create a business or scale a business or just like take their purpose, use it in a bigger way, I get to help them do that. Like, I get to help people be more fulfilled. That is so fulfilling to me. And social media has been a way to help me to do that.
I love that. I love Facebook groups. So don't you all think that Facebook groups are dead, because they definitely still work. I just joined one this week and I feel like it's going to be a good thing, especially if I have a strategy and a plan. So I'm glad you said and brought up those Facebook groups. So this section of the podcast is one of my favorites because it's about books. So were there any books or resources, maybe even podcasts, that have helped you along your entrepreneur journey? I know you said you have a background in sales, and so I would really love, are there any sales books that you think are good, or any type of entrepreneur books that have helped you?
I mean, I could go on and on. I think, and I will, but I think I will name some, but I think putting those messages in your brain every day is absolutely imperative. And I do that through Audible. So I really listen to my books like every morning, whether I'm on a hike or I'm driving to one of my workout classes or something. It's a part of my everyday regime is to listen to the books that get me in the right mindset frame. Well, I know that we know this person, and I just want to plug her amazing book that
Oh,
is,
it's yes, that book is amazing.
yeah, The Science of Getting Rich for Women by Sarah Cannell. I would highly recommend. So many beautiful tips in there and great success stories of seven-figure women who have come across adversity and made it happen. So that's been an inspiration to me. Sarah has been. I then there's the old book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That book can never be like underestimated in its power of inspiration. That really helped me to go over the edge. Now, some that you may or may not know, when you're thinking about charging high ticket, a lot of the women I work with will have concerns about that because they are such givers and people pleasers, and they want to give and they want to help, and they can't imagine charging for that. So I really had a mindset shift in a book by Mary Ann Williamson, who I'm a huge fan of, and running for president now. Marianne Williamson, she wrote The Divine Law of Compensation. And it's really about co-creating experience both people want, not taking someone's money, but co-creating this experience and charging, a price. And I'll just give one more by Dean Graziosi, Millionaire Success Habits. That's for everyone. Like it's such a mindset book as well as it has strategy in it. And again, I could go on and on. I mean, there's like books
Ooh,
are huge for me.
Millionaire Success Habits. Let me write that down.
I
I'm
love that
about
one.
to I'm about to order that on Audible today. Okay, today. And yes, the Science of Getting Rich for Women. Excellent book. I will recommend everyone read that because you're right. It's so many amazing stories of women entrepreneurs
Yeah.
who are self-made. None of them, all of them in the book are self-made millionaires and women. So please check out that book. But this has been such a really good episode. So many great tips about building our businesses, but not only just building a business, just a business that we love, a business that is heart centered. We're out here helping people. And I know that there's so many people listening who, may not know where to go, may not know what their niche is, may not know what that business is. But if you are passionate about whatever it is, your expertise, maybe you're a project manager, maybe you like photography, you can turn that into a business. And if it's something that just lights you up every single day, go after. We're two people right here showing you that it is possible to create a business, an online business that you love. You could travel the world like Tara does and go to yoga retreats, go to
Yeah.
Bali and all the amazing places. I know you've been to some amazing travel places too, right? Where are you traveling to next?
Yeah, I've taken groups all over the world. But my next trips are this November, the week before Thanksgiving, Tulum, Mexico. Tulum is a very spiritual place with one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And in May, I'm taking a group, and you could be part of that group, either one of these groups, to Bali. And I've lived in Bali for several months of 8 out of about 12 years. My daughter took her first steps there. It's a really powerful and a spiritual place for me as well. And I can't wait to go back and bring a group there to do some serious work and have a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, so yes, anyone listening, okay, she's talking about 2024 May, right? So
Yep.
2024 May and 2023 November.
Yes, I
Did you
am.
say November?
Yes.
So hit up Tara so that you can be a part of these trips. So thank you so much for sharing that. But before we head out, would you let the audience know where we can find you online? If you have anything special they can sign up for, maybe if they want to work with you, let us know how we can get in touch with you.
Yeah, and the events, no matter when you're watching this, there's always going to be upcoming events. If you go to the upcoming events page on my website, transformationterra.com. So transformationterra.com is the website. There's resources there. You can also follow me on Instagram at transformation.terra, and that's TARA.
Yes, thank you so much, Tara, for all the gems that you dropped here today. We will make sure to leave all that information in the show notes because I might be on that Bali trip, so I might have to take you up on that offer. So thank you so much, and we will talk to you all in the next one. Peace.
Thanks for having me.